YouTube? Welcome into the Everyday Growth Advisors pre-market stream. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I wanted to take a moment here to thank each and every one of you for attending these streams and supporting this channel from the bottom of my heart. Truly appreciate you guys taking out the time to be here and yeah, just being a part of this growth journey. We do this for the people, making sure that you guys are prepped pre-market so that you can succeed in your trading session. Always, as usual, go ahead, put your tickers in the comments so that I can break them down for you after I'm done with my breakdowns. And yeah, let's get started. Gonna be a short stream today, mainly because there's not much that has changed since our last session on Wednesday. So let's just get into it. We have SPY that is attempting to break out of that 40-50 level, as we spoke about on Wednesday. It got pretty close to it on Wednesday, but then didn't really clear it with the good momentum or volume. We have been range bound between 40-50 or 40-40 and 3900. Today's key level to watch is going to be 4,000, which is the psychological level. If we can get a bounce at 4,000 or even 39.95 on SPX, that's going to be a pretty decent bounce. If you're looking for the level on SPY, pretty much going to be around 399 or 400. So yeah, 399, 400. That's a level for a bounce today. If we break through below, with continued momentum and with some strength, then this opens up the trajectory back down again. That opens back up 3,900 on SPX and 390 on SPY, pretty much 390 or so, which is the bottom of this range. So as you can see, we're pretty much trading in this range. Remember that SPY, it doesn't correlate perfectly with SPX, so SPY could break out, but then SPX doesn't break out. And also another thing is, if you're looking for the most complete price action of the S&P 500 index, this is what you want to be following on TradingView. SPX 500 USD. This is between 4 different trading sessions around the world, and so as you realize, my charts don't have any gaps. This is from trading session to trading session. There's no gaps in between. The price action is continuous, and this will give you the most accurate pricing of the S&P 500 index. So this is just a little fun fact for you guys. If you wonder why my charts don't have any, gaps and stuff like that, that's the reason. Okay. So yes, a little bit of a rejection here on the S&P 500 so far, but then once again, as I said, 4,000 is the level today. If we bounce on that level, then we bounce higher. If we break through it, then we go down to retest 3950, and that's pretty much your SPY 395 equivalent. NASDAQ failed to get higher highs here. Didn't even go up to test the range high. And this is the problem child, right? As I've mentioned before multiple times, the problem child is tech. And so these growth tech stocks and these tech stocks are the ones that are causing the indexes or SPY to be muted in terms of return, in terms of the price action to the upside. So behind that is all your underlyings, which is Apple, which is Amazon, which is Google, which is Microsoft. And Apple here with a pretty considerable drop, about minus 1.5% this morning, but it is independent, or rather like a wedge style pennant right now. So we kind of have to see where it goes from here. It could come back like close to around 147 or 148 and then bounce again and then continue consolidating sideways here. And that's what I fully expect, actually. Until unless Apple, fully breaks below this level, which is the 147 level, and continues rejecting these higher levels here, then we might see some kind of downward action. So the bearish case for Apple here is to break and then retest and then extend back down to 23.6. The bullish case is hold the support at 146.50 or 147, continue to pivot to the upside, and then eventually break 152 and bounce on 152 before climbing to 156, which is the interim local high. So until that happens, it's really pretty much no point to try and play this range. Don't give money to stock market while waiting. There's no point in doing that. Just wait for the main move to happen, and then take your place accordingly. So that's what I'm seeing with Apple here, and obviously Apple and Microsoft are two of the biggest ones. Microsoft was a bit better last week, and so there's a nicer chance with Microsoft, but as I mentioned, it needs to come back and then bounce around 245, which would be the S&P 500 equivalent of that $4,000 level. If it gets down even like 244.50 bounce, that's also okay. But then below 241.50, that's going to be a pivot to the downside. So if it starts rejecting at this point here. So that's the scores. That's the lines in the sand for the underlyings within the index. Dollar index popping up a little bit today. Could be a temporary buy up, but so far looking interesting for the day, setting up to be a little bit of a possible pullback, and then maybe a continued sell-off or a reversal. So we'll see accordingly. Bond market, not really much changes. The VIX, it slammed all the way down past 21.29, so the next level here is going to be 18. Which kind of shows me maybe the VIX wants to bounce short term and kind of hang out here around 21 before heading back down. We haven't seen much out the money betting, so the VIX is a real wild card right now, and it's really pointless to try and figure out what the VIX is about to do. Volatility will be back, so obviously this is not the time to go long volatility just yet. There was a moment like somewhere around here, but I think the next time you should go long volatility is when we start approaching that $18 level or $19 level on VIX, and then you can start to bet on volatility instead. This morning, Tesla is up pre-market at around 185. So the last live stream reviewer here, I said Tesla would go back to test 180. And that indeed it did. It closed around 183. That was beautiful. Caught some of those scalps to the upside and traded it. Tesla could go on a monster rally if it continues with this momentum. And it keeps breaking out over here. Let's say it gets above 185, then 190 is the next pit stop. So I would keep my eyes on Tesla, because when it starts reversing like this, it gets interesting. And then you have Nvidia, which is pulling back and slightly going bearish here. But I think that semiconductors are still bullish in the longer term trend. So I think any pullbacks on semis are a good opportunity to take into the long term perspective. Especially there's this little cup and handle here forming, but then I think that handle's already broken out. Retest of 170 is very possible with Nvidia, maybe in a week or so. Maybe it wants to chop around a little bit here before it gets up there. So I don't think that there's any reason to go overly bearish just yet. Not unless we start closing below 160 and hanging below 160, then maybe we could go for that retest at around 152 or 150, which is the next range low. Some stocks that are super overbought, financials are, right? JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, two of them which are pretty overbought at this point. There are obviously a bunch more financials which are super overbought in these conditions, but they're rallying just mainly on the perception that the Fed's decision is going to change. So that brings more liquidity to banks, that improves their balance sheets, financial positions, yada yada yada. You get the picture. Money that costs less is always going to be more efficient. And lastly, we saw some interesting flow on Starbucks the past couple of days. This one's been breaking out. I kind of want to see a retest here first before we start moving to the upside. But if it really does break above $100 or $100.50, I might be tempted to take some short-term calls here, up into the 105 at least for a retest of this level here. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. Any questions? Any tickers you guys want me to break down for you? Go ahead, put it in the comments right now. I'll do it for you. And yeah, that's all I have. Short session today. I didn't want to, make it too long this morning. But yeah, that's your breakdown for this morning. I would say keep it range bound for now. Currently, we're moving in like bouts of 50 points. So I would wait for the breakouts and then the underlyings within the stock, which are driving the indexes, to break out, and then you have your plan there ready. Before that, I think it's pointless and fruitless to try and guess where this is going to go. I would say wait for the breakout, then you have a better picture, and follow where Apple and Microsoft are about to go, because that's what's going to drive the index mainly. All right, well, I don't see any questions or tickers, so I will end the stream here. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and make sure you smash that like button on the way out if you can, and leave a subscribe. Truly helps this stream a lot, and to reach more people. We want this family to grow, so do appreciate you taking your time out to do that. And yeah, we'll see you back on Monday. So have a great weekend, and yeah, peace out. No worries. No worries, man, Glenn. Thanks for tuning in. Alrighty, guys. Have a good trading session. I'm going to hop on a Discord and trade live with the team right now. I'll see you guys soon.